Well, good morning, everybody. So, sorry, I gotta lock up. So today, my range day. So I'm currently headed to the range, and I figured, sorry, I'm cutting myself off there. My gate just broke this morning. Anyway, it's not gonna close on its own. The spring's broken. Is this not focused on me? There we go. So I figured I'd bring you guys along. So, because of my current work schedule, basically, I work 3 days a week right now. Kind of sucks because I don't get paid as much, but on the upside, it gives me a day to go to the range. So that's what we're doing today. We're heading down to the range. I figured I'd give you guys kind of a ride along, let you guys see what I do when I head down to the range. So we're getting ready to go down there right now. We do have to stop by Builder Shooter's. We do have to stop by Builder Shooter's house first. Got to drop off the taco truck and pick up my 19, and then we're good to go shooting. So anyway, we're heading down there right now. It's about 20 minutes away, so I'll see you along the way somewhere.
To take note of suppressors. We showed up, and like, to our surprise, about half the leadership at NRA were all like machine gun and cannon. Right? So they're all like, oh.
So that's the drive that I've got to get down to the range. Usually I listen, you can hear in the background, usually I listen to like a gun podcast. Particularly today I'm listening to We Like Shooting. I'm not like stuck on We Like Shooting. If you guys have like a better shooting podcast that you listen to, place that down in the comments below, because I'm looking for something better. We Like Shooting kind of gets, I don't know, they get YouTube live chatty sometimes rather than podcast on topic. Like, there's a reason that I don't have our live chat on a podcast, and it's because we're just not focused enough. Like, to me, a podcast needs to be a little bit cleaner, a little bit more professional. So if you guys have like a good podcast to be able to listen to as far as shooting goes, post that down in the comments and I'll check it out, because I need some new material. Okay, so we just got through the range, just passed through the gate, and now we're heading back to the range. Our range here has it's got like a 20 yard, a 25 yard, a 50 yard, and a 100 yard range. Usually I like to start setting up on the 25 yard range. Sometimes I end up on the 20, depends on if people are here. It's about 8:30 in the morning right now. I like getting here a little bit early, that way people are at work. So that way I'm not fighting with anybody for a range or having to share a range. It's not that I mind sharing a range when I'm just going out and shooting, but it's kind of not conducive to recording. So I don't have a whole lot of stuff to record today. Today I do have 3 guns that I need to zero in the red dots on. But I also got a couple of reviews I got to get done, and then I'm, just going to finish up and head back home. So let's head to the range, let's get set up, and I'll see you there. So it is rather chilly this morning. It's about 45 degrees, I think. I mean, it's not too bad for Indiana, but it's not great for Indiana in May. So we're gonna get set up. This one, I got the 25 yard range. This is a pistol only range, so I'll be doing my pistol stuff over here, and then I've got a short AR product review that I gotta head over to the 50 yard range to be able to do. But we're gonna go ahead and get set up here because I've got 3 red dots to sight in, and as always, I want to start and finish off with my carry gun. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so when I first end up at the range, what I generally like to do is, I'm about 10 yards from my target right now, and without a timer or anything, I just like to do some cold draws. I'm fresh at the range, which means that I've not like had any trigger time in. That way, it's kind of more akin to what I'm gonna be if I ever got in a self-defense situation, how well I'm gonna draw and fire. So I don't like to go like really super fast in this case. I just want to do clean, smooth draw, extend, and fire. Now, unfortunately, this dot's not sighted in yet. I think I got it pretty close to where the old dot was, but I also don't want to waste my first shots on zeroing. So I'm going to draw just kind of get that stroke in, see how I do, and then we'll go on to trying to get sighted in, get it a little bit more narrowed down. So I'm not going off a timer or anything. I don't plan on using the timer a whole lot today, just because that's not what I'm doing. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and get that draw stroke in. Okay, that was 2 A zones. Let's go ahead and go one more. Okay. Also 2 A zones. Let's try to speed it up a little bit. Okay, another 2 A zones. And one more. Okay. So that was my first shot. That was my first shots of the day. So again, sitting about 10 yards. Here's our target. All A zones, all relatively well placed. None of them down here in the lower quadrant of the A, which is not what I want. I want them up here. But so that's generally what I do to start off with. I go ahead and do a couple of draw strokes and make sure that, you know, my fundamentals are still there, that I can still kind of do what I need to do in the case of this thing. So let's go ahead and I'll paste these up and we'll go ahead and start trying to zero a little bit. I think it's pretty darn close because obviously these are all A zone hits, but we'll check and we'll see. So taping targets is easily my least favorite part of range day, especially when you come out here and shoot as many rounds as I do. It just gets kind of tedious. All right, so now we're all pasted up. Actually, let me do, so there's a pasty in the middle of our target. That's what I'm gonna kind of go ahead and aim at. Now, the reason that I'm having to re-zero my dot, let me aim you guys up a little bit. There we go. Now, the reason that I'm having to re-zero my dot is because of this. So this is the Holosun 507 Gen 2. This is the one with the side battery compartment. We've got the big buttons over here on the side. And it does run a different battery, but pretty much everything else is the same as the Gen 1. I need another dot. The V2 is kind of the next progression. I was gonna get a 508. I still plan on getting a 508, but man, they're just running so far behind that I need to go ahead and get a dot. Applied Ballistics had this one in stock, so thanks Applied Ballistics for hooking me up with this 507 V2. Now let's go ahead and get this thing sighted in. Okay, so we are shooting a little bit low at about 10 yards, so let's go ahead and change that. Now, the V2 does come with a very nice tool. The tool that it comes with actually has tools for both windage adjustment and to take out the battery and to get the screws out, but in this case, we don't really need that a whole lot, so let's go ahead and pull this thing up a little bit. Okay. Let's take some more shots, see if we can get a little bit closer to that center. Okay. One more for good measure. All right. So, I don't know if you can see this. Here's that first 3-shot group. Here's the second one. This is actually my first shot on the second string. So I'd say we're getting pretty darn good. Let's go ahead and move back to 20. See how well we're doing at 20. Then we'll call it a wraps for zeroing in the V2 on our P10C here. Now I'm carrying my spare mag in my reload wrap. That's what I always carry my spare mag in. I really like the reload wrap. It's kind of, it's just kind of low profile, very simple, nothing special about it, no gimmicks, but it works. It just does the job. Okay, let's take some shots here at 20 yards. Okay, it seems like we are a little bit left at 20, so let's go ahead and pull it back right just a little bit. Okay, so it looks like the P10 is zeroed in. Let's go ahead and I'm going to load a mag up for this. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go ahead and reholster this. We'll start zeroing in some of the other guns, and we'll go down and pasty the target back up. So you might ask if my range days are always this kind of hectic and spread out. Yes, normally they are. I don't have, despite having a morning to come down here, I don't have all morning. I got it like an hour or two. And I got to make the best use of my time. So I got to get the stuff done that I need to get done, such as zeroing dots. Then I also need to get the stuff done for the channel, such as doing reviews and stuff. Now, the reason that I'm going ahead and loading up the P10 again is because over here on the pistol range, I always like to begin and end with my carry pistol. So there you saw that I went ahead and started off with my carry gun, doing some cold firing work, and then before I go, I'll go ahead and I'll do a very similar thing where I do draws. That way, I both begin and end with the absolute necessary stuff that I'm more likely to need in between range trips. You know, a lot of this other stuff is just the fun stuff, but it's not the why. So the why is why I end up starting and ending with my carry gun. Next up, we're going to go ahead and go to the Legion. The Legion also is now wearing a dot, so I'm super pumped about this. This is the first time that I've shot the Legion with a dot. My Legion with a dot, anyway. And I like this gun. I like it a lot. There's a couple of little nitpicky things that I don't like, but overall, I really enjoy this gun. And so I'm really excited to run it with a dot because that's going to be what I'm going to end up running it as during USPSA this year, which hopefully will start up in June. It's May right now, so we're looking at hopefully starting up our local matches here in June, which would be fantastic. And I'm going to go ahead and load up some extra mags with this one because after I get this zeroed, I'm really excited just to see how it runs with the dot on top. I'm currently running the reduced power recoil spring. We'll see if that's enough with the increased mass on top to be able to close the slide. I think it will be, but the only thing that'll tell is shooting it. So we're going to go ahead and shoot it. We're going to find out if that works well. I am running the CNH V4 plate on it. The V4 plate is a really nice kind of low profile plate. This one does have a cut for a sight in it. I do not have co-witnessing sights yet. Someday I will get them. I want kind of the lower co-witness sights. I really like the co-witness sights on my Norso slide. My Norso, the co-witness is, it's just the crest of each one of the sights that's sticking up through there. So you have co-witness sights, but they're not blocking your sight picture much, which is optimal. With the dot, you want to be able to see as much of the screen as you can possibly see. So keeping that, keeping your backup sights out of the sight picture, but still able to be used, is pretty important. Now, if you're wondering, yes, I do have a Maglula. Yes, it is with me. No, I don't usually use it. It's just, it takes up extra time. I can load quicker by hand. Does it hurt? Yeah, eventually. But for how much I'm getting to shoot today, it's not going to be too bad. Okay, mags in pockets. Let's put gun in pocket. And let's go paste up a target. And I tell you, these pasters, although they're not expensive, they're also not cheap. And they go pretty damn quick. Okay, so now let's go ahead and we're going to sight in the Legion. So here's the Legion. Aim you guys down a little bit more. Okay. Now, as I said, this is my first shots with the Legion with a dot on it, so it's probably going to be way off, but I'm kind of excited about it. So let's go ahead and see what it can do. Okay. Looks like we are low left a little bit, so go ahead and change that. Okay. Okay. Still low left a little bit, so we'll make a little bit more modification to that. Okay. Okay. That's better. Sorry, just shooting at the berm there. Our berm is always riddled with clays, so it's just kind of a nice confirmation there that you're actually zeroed in. Okay, so now I'm just gonna play around a little bit. As I said, I've not shot my gun with a dot yet, so I'm kind of excited about it. If I can find another one of the 3 mags in this pocket. Here we go. So let's go ahead and play around a little bit. Ho, 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 ho. Okay, so the Legion's going to be really fun with the dot. Got one more mag somewhere in here. There it is. Still getting used to this grip on the Legion. It's got this like shelf right here that I really don't like. It keeps me from being able to ride my thumb up as high as I like it, and I may end up having to reshape that, which makes me a little bit nervous because this ain't a cheap gun. Luckily you can replace these, but these aren't cheap either. They're like $350. So, but I might end up having to do that. Just because I don't, that's the only thing that I don't like about the ergonomics on this gun, is how this shelf interacts with my hand. So I may end up having to do that. Okay, so we've got one more gun to be able to zero. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. Then I'll go ahead and start with the reviews. Whew, that barrel is warm. So this next gun that I'm doing, I'm going to zero in the Holosun on the P10F. I took it off to put it on the Legion before I ended up getting the 507 V2. But now I've got the V2, so I can have a dot on all 3 of my dot-ready guns, which is nice. But wish I had waited a couple of weeks, because didn't really do a whole lot in between. I am using these CZ-specific +2 base pads sold by HBI on my P10F mags, and they seem to be working pretty well. At first I thought that they were jamming up, but it ends up that the DPM, I have a DPM recoil kit for my P10F, and the DPM kit just did not like, well, I didn't like anything. I could not get the DPM kit to run, which is a shame for how much they cost. DPM sent them to me, and I've heard people have just absolutely great luck with them. I have not. So I need to contact them. It's just been crazy, crazy storm of other things to have to get done. So I've just been busy, quite honestly. You guys know how it is. But the DPM kit seems nice. It's just I couldn't get it to run with my P10F. So let's go ahead and head back down here. Let's zero out the F before I get started on a couple of reviews. Okay, back here at 10 yards again. Okay. Now see, The F, you can see how high I get my thumb up here when I shoot. And that's a problem with the Legion. One that I didn't notice before I bought it. So I'm definitely gonna have to shave that Legion down a little bit, reshape the back to be able to get a comfortable grip on it. They've got that hard edge in there and it's just not conducive to my grip style. Okay, so we are really high. Okay. Here we go, we're about an inch high still. There we go. That'll do. Okay. So I've got the F zeroed in now. It's zeroed in pretty well. So now I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go for a minute while I go do a couple of reviews, and I'll be back after that. Okay, so that's it for one review. That's it for the review over here on the pistol range. Unfortunately, now I got to go over one of the rifle ranges, and I'm not going to set my target back up. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my pistol stuff here with a couple of draw strokes, doing the same thing that I left with. Just to make sure that I've got that repetition in prior to leaving. Huh. Where the heck is that guy shooting that I'm getting stuff back here? Anyway. That was a bad one. Okay, now I'm just doing a draw and one shot into the head. A zone of the head is what I'm aiming for, and that's what I got. Okay, that's it. Now we're out of ammo. So that's generally how I like to end my sessions. But today, it's not quite the end. I still got to go over and do some rifle stuff. Maybe if I can get one of the ranges, but we'll see as far as that goes. I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Okay guys, so now we're over here on the 50-yard range. And on the 50-yard range, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a review on a Hancock Armory muzzle brake. This thing's a titanium muzzle brake. It's pretty nifty. So we're going to go ahead and go up there and we're going to do that review. And then we'll get going for the day. So guys, that's it. That is a pretty typical range day for me. Heading here, doing a little bit of defensive and a little bit of reviews and stuff. So, talk a little bit on the way home. See you in the car. All right, guys. So that is it. That is a typical range day for me. Usually I get about an extra half an hour down here. Today I'm a little bit hurried. Just got some stuff to do. But generally speaking, I come down. I do some defensive stuff. I do some reviews. I do verifications on whether my guns are working or not. With how much I modify guns. There's typically one gun in my inventory that is unfired or unproven. So, thanks guys for hanging out with me. I hope this was kind of entertaining a little bit maybe. I don't know if it was, but let me know if it was. Let me know if you want to see more vloggy stuff like this. I'll let you guys in a little bit on what I do and kind of the stuff that I do in between what you typically see. So, thanks guys for hanging out. Remember, if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe down below. If you like what we do here on the channel and you want to help out a little bit, head on over to our Patreon page. That's patreon.com/workthetrigger. Remember, I appreciate every one of you. And until next time, do your research, get informed, and get to work.